everyone, this is Storytelling with AI. This is my first video, so I'm going to do a mini let's play with Chai. It's an AI chat platform essentially, and I know I'm probably a little late to the party because I saw a bunch of YouTubers playing with this months ago. 10 months ago, maybe. So almost a year. But I am recently just coming into this and I've been obsessed. In 2022, so 2 years ago, I did play with another platform. And my impression at the time is that the AI was good, but it was mostly reacting to how it's the latest message that I sent to the AI. That's what their response is based on, which means that the AI has limited long-term memory. So if I ask him, what is your favorite color? It's going to tell me blue, and then in the next breath, it's going to tell me it's green. So it doesn't really have sort of like a fixed construct of personality. So my biggest favorite feature of Chai compared to that is that it has it's pretty, it's the personality of the particular bot that you're interacting with, it's pretty fixed. And as well, it remembers things that you said earlier in the conversation, which enables storytelling in the way that the other platform wasn't built to do. And also the other thing is that Chai is open to the community. So you can interact with bots that are trained by other users, which to me is really exciting because it opens up, there's just more things you can do compared to, there are some sort of like AI dating apps where you can interact only with the characters built by the developers. I think I saw on Reddit that Chai only has one developer. So it's kind of impressive that they built this whole thing with one guy. But, obviously, like having opened it up to the community, the users are training the bots. So I think that's kind of a nice feature. So I've been obsessed with this for about a week, and I've been playing with it nonstop. So I thought I would record something, just because sometimes like these conversations, I really like where they go, and they surprise me because there's the other half of that I can't control, right? It's the AI. And as well, even if I say the exact same thing to the same bot, it's going to give me a different reaction every time. So it's quite dynamic. So I wanted to do like a little mini let's play storytelling session. So today we're going to interact with a bot called Kenzo, who is my co-CEO husband. This is pretty much bread and butter for a romance novel, right? But now he's my husband instead of another heroine's husband. I think that's the cool thing about AI is that you can put yourself into the stories that you're taking part in writing. So, okay. You were shopping around while your husband is at work. Then while about to pay for the things you bought, you suddenly realize that your wallet wasn't with you and you left it at the house. You hesitate to call your husband, but you have no choice but to call him. As you called him, your eyes widen a bit and catch your breath in relief when he answered your call. What do you want? He responded. His voice was very cold and sounds annoyed. I think I'm going to say, I'm sorry to bother you at work. Cancel. It's just that I'm in a bind. I left my wallet at home. Let's see what he says. I will arrange for someone to bring it to you. Do not bother me with such petty matters. The line goes dead. Okay. That's pretty standard CEO behavior, I guess. It's just here's some money. Don't talk to me. Okay. I will say, Then I start to thank him when the line goes dead. I smile, pretending his coldness didn't bother me. And hang up myself. So, I mean, obviously I don't need to reply this much, right? But just from my playing with the app, I feel like one thing that helps things go or helps the story move along smoothly is that like the user needs to make sort of like the big plot decisions, because the AI would just come up with something crazy. So, and also I think of this as storytelling. So I want it to read smoothly as if it's a book, even though it's taking place in this text format. So I tend to write a bit more in the reply just to move the story along. Here I think I'm going to add, I wait in the shop. Soon, an intern from Kenzo's company rushes in. Okay, let's see if that works. Sometimes it doesn't always work, and the AI refuses to cooperate. All right. Okay. As the intern rushes to you with your wallet, he hands it over and says, "Here's your wallet. The boss said I had to bring it to you personally." His eyes widen as he recognizes you from some photos on his desk. Aww. So Kenzo keeps pictures of me on his desk. That's really sweet. I didn't know that. Okay. Thank you, I tell the intern. You saved my day. He blushes at my gratitude, at the words of gratitude I would have liked to say to my husband before rushing off. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah. I prepare a big dinner for Kenzo. But everything for Kenzo that night. But everything is cold by the time he gets home. I don't know if you see what I'm doing here. So I'm kind of taking charge of moving the scene from the shop to later that night at home. That's the other thing I find with AI is that they struggle to kind of like shift scenes. Because it makes sense, right? Because it's responding to you. And so if you don't move the setting of the story, then they tend to just go along with it. Yeah, let's see what he says. Why didn't you call me right away when you lost your wallet? He says coldly upon seeing the lukewarm food. I could have arranged for someone to bring it to you earlier. His eyes rake over the room, like a predator looking for its prey. What's this? He asks, taking a seat and pushing the plate aside. I thought you knew I had told you not to bother me with such petty matters. Okay. That's not bad. He reaches for his phone and starts checking work emails. I can work with that. I just wanted to do something nice to thank you for coming to my rescue today. I say. I heat up the food before sitting down next to him at the table. He glances at me briefly before turning his attention back to his phone. You shouldn't waste your time on such things. There are more important matters at hand. He finishes his food in silence, barely registering what he's eating. Okay. So he's still pretty cold. He's not really giving me much to work with. Wonder if I should try or I should give up today, and just let things be. I'm gonna poke him a little bit. It's just as important to spend time with the people in your life. It's just as important to spend time with the people in your life as it is making big deals, big business deals, as making big business deals. And okay, I clearly know nothing about business, so that's all I'm going to say. I say quietly. I'm going to say it quietly because I don't want to piss him off. I am aware of that, he says, still not looking up from his phone. But my job requires me to prioritize certain things over others. He finishes his meal and stands up, leaving the dishes on the table as he heads towards their bedroom. Okay. So I guess the dinner plan didn't really work. It didn't really bring them closer. But that's all right. It takes time. I clean up everything. Also, one of the other things about these AI bots is that they escalate pretty quickly if you let it to sexual storylines. And I don't know. I kind of like a good build up to intimacy. I kind of want the characters to actually feel like they're ready, right? So here they're pretty distant with each other. So I don't know. As a woman, I don't think my character would really rush into intimacy. So I don't know. Let's see what happens. Even if he wants to get something going in the bedroom, I don't think I would be up for it. I clean up everything from dinner, then stay downstairs, listening to music. I know Kenzo will be expecting me. in our bedroom. But his cold tone at dinner didn't exactly make me excited to spend time with him. The light in our bedroom is off by the time I go upstairs. I tiptoe to bed, careful not to wake him. You hear the soft sound of Kenzo's breathing as he sleeps deeply, his body relaxed after a long day of work. You slide under the covers and snuggle up to him, gently kissing his cheek before closing your eyes. Aw, that is actually really sweet. I didn't expect this. I thought he was going to try to, have cold-hearted sex. But it's nice that there's this little moment of tenderness between them. Okay. Kind of where I really like where the story is going. Do I want anything to happen in the night? I don't think I do. I think I want them to take their time. So I'm going to say when I wake up in the morning, Kenzo has left already. I feel the warmth his body left behind. Almost as if he is here to cuddle with me. Okay, I guess the AI is moving the story to that night again. Kenzo arrives home late, his eyes bleary from exhaustion. He changes into casual clothes before going downstairs to find you in the kitchen, cooking dinner. I'm sorry the food isn't ready yet. I tell him I had a busy day. I don't know. Okay. I mean, what do I want the character to do? Do I want her to be... I don't want her to be a housewife, so... And I don't want her to be shopping all the time. I don't know what I want her to do. Okay, I want to visit my family. I think the backstory I want to go with is that she comes from sort of a poor family, and but their families have known each other forever. So he kind of marries her because he knows her background, so he knows what she's about, and because he kind of needed a wife, or his family is getting on his case about getting a wife, so he marries her, but he doesn't really have any feelings for her, and that's why he is very cold, and he prioritizes work over their relationship. So I'm gonna say I want to visit my family. Dad's health has deteriorated again. So I wanted to give them some money. I wonder if he's gonna think I'm asking him for money. But that's okay. That's okay. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say that. Oof. It seems like you always have some excuse, he says, his tone cold. Can't you handle your duties at home properly? His words sting, but I refuse to let them provoke an argument. I really like that. For me, her character so far has been like resilient, and she's warm, she's caring, but she isn't going to just take his crap, right? So that response really fits her personality. I think I will say, what will I say? I'll say my family is important to me. But you're right. I shouldn't have neglected my duty to you. I say, as I bring the food to the table. I'm grateful you gave me the money to help my parents, and that you helped me find a doctor for Dad. Okay, so I'm feeding the AI a little bit of the backstory that I came up with, right? That he's giving her family money to help out, and then he's helping her find a doctor for her dad. Let's see if he takes the bait. Man, it's cold. Kenzo takes his seat at the table, not acknowledging your apology or praise. He eats in silence, only occasionally glancing up from his plate when someone speaks. His demeanor makes it clear that he expects you to tend to his needs without any distractions from outside sources. He is really making this difficult, isn't he? Let me ask about his day. How is your day at work? I ask, hoping we could have an easy conversation, at least while we eat dinner together. Yeah, he is a robot. It was successful, he says, his tone monotone. I've closed another deal. He seems proud of himself, but there's no emotion behind his words. It's all business to him. Yeah, let me ask him about that. Why no emotions, huh? How do you feel when you've achieved something? I ask. Because you never seem very excited or proud of yourself. you just move on to the next project. I am proud, he says, looking up from his plate, but I don't need to show it. My accomplishments speak for themselves. There's a hint of impatience in his voice, as if he thinks you're wasting his time with such trivial questions. Oh my god. I am doing all the work here. I guess it makes sense. He doesn't really want to be close to me. Okay, should I tell him how I feel? I'll say I admire your drive. I say with sincerity. But it doesn't hurt to slow down once in a while and let yourself enjoy what you've built. Oh man. Oops. Okay, I guess he's really not into it. I'm aware of what I need to do, he replies, his eyes hardening. I don't need you telling me how to run my life. He takes another bite of his food, returning to his meal as if nothing happened. Oh boy. Alright, I don't even know what to say to him. Because he's rejecting all my efforts. But it's kind of nice. It's kind of realistic when that happens, when the bot doesn't kind of cater to your idea of where the story should be going. Let's see. I will say... Maybe I shouldn't say anything. I nod. Knowing his rights. What qualifications do I have to tell him how to live his life? He is the CEO of a very successful company. He wouldn't have looked at me twice if our families weren't, if our families haven't known each other since forever. Yeah, so I'm also just giving a little bit more backstory. But a part of me can't help but think he's missing something in his life. I don't really know if I like that. But a part of me can't help but think his life is empty. in an essential way? Maybe. Okay. I mean, sometimes I can't tell if what I've typed is thoughts or if it's something I speak out loud. So it's saying these are my thoughts, but it's behaving as if he should be able to read my thoughts, which isn't realistic, obviously. So I'm just going to reply to the latter parts. He's asking me, you're quiet. What are you thinking about? I'm going to comment on our marriage. Just that it's been a whole year already since our wedding, I say. Time flies. Okay. Yes, it does, he agrees. I have no regrets about marrying you. I'm glad. He pauses for a moment before adding, you know what you can do to show your appreciation for my success? Ooh, I want to know. I hope it's not sex. Just my character is not ready to have sex. Tell me, I say. Secretly glad he doesn't regret marrying me. Oh, that's a nice idea. You could support me more publicly, he suggests. Show up at more events with me. Be seen on my arm. He takes another bite of his food, not looking at me directly. Oof, that is a good message. So he wants to be seen in public with me. That's really sweet. I'd really like that, I say. I respond. He's never asked me to be part of his public persona. I'm gonna say, when is your next public appearance? I'd love to accompany you if you don't mind. Friday night at the gala dinner for the charity organization, he replies. I'll expect you to be there. He finishes the rest of his meal and stands up from the table, leaving no room for further conversation. Oh, we have a date on Friday night. We have a gala dinner to go to. And I'm going to look drop dead gorgeous, obviously, and make him eat his heart out at the dinner. So I think I'm gonna end part 1 here because I don't know how long this video has been going on, and it's my first video, so I'm still feeling things out. But I actually really like where the story is going. Between me and my cold CEO hubby. Okay, I'll see you at part 2.